Have you ever seen one of those lists of the most influential books ever written? Broadsheet newspapers and pop culture websites love them, and no two lists are ever the same. I doubt that the most influential books in my life would make it onto any such list. The first Ladybird Keywords Picture Dictionary, along with its fascinating follow-up, the second Ladybird Keywords Picture Dictionary. They started my journey to literacy, without help or tuition from anyone else. These simple little picture books opened my eyes to the joys of reading and learning long before I started school. Whilst I was surprised when I did start school that I was the only one in my class who already knew how to read, it wasn't until many years later that I found out why, and it's something that I share with a lot of other autistic people. Let's talk about hyperlexia. There are lots of hyper words associated with autism. Hyperfocus, hypersensitivity, and of course, hyperlexia. Hyper comes from Greek meaning over or beyond, and the lexia part is also Greek, lexis meaning word. Someone who is hyperlexic is a precocious and prodigious reader. As children, we either teach ourselves to read or learn to read very quickly, rapidly advancing beyond our contemporaries in terms of speed, vocabulary and comprehension. In contrast to people who learn to speed read, hyperlexic people not only read quickly and enjoy it, but tend to digest and retain information well too. When paired with a good memory, it's not unusual to be able to quote long sections of text verbatim. That's a skill which we'll mention again on a later date when we discuss a couple of other aspects of the verbal spectrum, echolalia and scripting. When encountering unfamiliar words, hyperlexia also helps in understanding their meaning through context and inference, or by common linguistic routes, without having to resort to a dictionary. Children may also learn to speak earlier than expected, and in a more grown-up fashion, which may in turn be a barrier if they later seek autism diagnosis. The concept of speech delays and difficulties in expressing ourselves is so hardwired into the highly subjective diagnostic criteria that early speech or eloquent articulation may prompt less conscientious practitioners to misdiagnose. Although it's known to be relatively common amongst autistic people, non-autistic people can be hyperlexic too. It's possible that the apparent higher prevalence in autistic people is because we naturally exhibit extremes of both strengths and weakness we call spiky skill sets. There's more about spiky skill sets in the video linked on screen now. These days, dyslexia, or having difficulties with reading, which is also quite common in autism, is something most people are familiar with. But although dyslexia was first described in the 19th century, it wasn't fully acknowledged as a diagnosis until the 1990s. Even so, people still talked about dyslexia when I was at school in the 1970s and 80s. But if you mention hyperlexia to most people, even now, you'll be met with blank looks. Why is that? Part of it may be that being good at something doesn't really feel like it needs a label in the same way as it does for a disability. Society feels a need to give a name to disabilities so that we can identify those who need assistance. Dyslexia can be a disadvantage in the school system and in adult life, but someone who is hyperlexic isn't seen by society as at risk of losing out. As a child, our reading ability and comprehension may be well beyond our peers, so there are no institutional concerns about us falling behind in the curriculum, even though we may suffer in other ways. Many hyperlexic children find their skills in both reading and writing get them into trouble at school. Some get accused of cheating or plagiarism because the language they use in their schoolwork is branded as too mature or too technical for their age. They get bullied as bookworms, nerds or clever dicks by their peers, and sometimes even by teachers and other authority figures. Their own academic needs might be neglected because their teachers are tied to a curriculum that caters to the majority who don't read or absorb information as fast as they do. Some hyperlexic kids may get advanced or moved up a year, but not only may that be inappropriate for their other abilities, being put into a class of resentful older children creates its own unique social challenges. Such kids are forever the square peg in a series of ever tighter round holes. While schools are starting to learn how to better cater for children with learning disabilities, those who may actually have an advantage often see their potential squandered or discouraged. Imagine if a child excels at sport. They run faster, jump higher, or throw further than the other kids. Would you expect them to run races backwards because the others in their class couldn't run as fast? Expecting a hyperlexic child to slow down their pace of reading or learning, or limiting their use of vocabulary, is no different. A while ago, a parent asked me an unexpected question. Could I recommend somewhere to get their child diagnosed as hyperlexic? I was flabbergasted. You wouldn't seek a diagnosis to explain why little Timmy or Tammy was really good at mathematics, so why would you want a diagnosis to explain their prodigious reading ability? It's not a disability or impairment. The parent then linked me to an advert for hyperlexia diagnosis. That advert horrified me. It was from one of a number of new private companies which are springing up to offer diagnosis and therapy for hyperlexic children. As you might expect, they follow the same scaremongering tactics as other opportunists who leap onto the autism gravy train. Full of warnings of impending doom and potential problems in later life, they imply that high reading ability is a warning sign of a long list of difficulties with life skills and mental health that demand early and expensive intervention. They map out the disastrous consequences of not heeding their warnings to reel in unsuspecting stooges. They're charlatans. Snake oil salesmen inventing problems to make a quick buck out of gullible victims and should be avoided like the plague. Being hyperlexic is a blessing. It allows a person to take immense joy in reading and absorbing information. We can digest far more information in less time than most people, unlocking the potential for everything from academic achievement or a successful writing career to being a whiz at general knowledge quizzes. Yes, many of us find our education lacking, and tales of hyperlexic people being bullied are far from rare. But is that our problem, or that of the society we live in? Do we put chains round the ankles of the child who wins every race to appease the bullies? Or do we punish the bullies and buy the kids some running shoes? Hyperlexia is a rarely mentioned aspect of the verbal spectrum, but it has a distinct impact on the way we use language, both in writing and in speech. We may occasionally use words people are unfamiliar with, or pepper our speech with syntax usually only seen on the printed page. We might seem like walking dictionaries. Rather than feel threatened by this or try to bluff past it, why not just ask what we mean? You never know. You might just learn something. Thank you for watching. If you like this channel, please take a moment to click on the link on the left to subscribe and keep up to date with new content, or on the right for another video, or visit autistic.com.